Will Nintendo have anything of substance to show at the Game Awards 2023? Let's talk about it. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Games. Today, I want to talk about whether or not we could be seeing a new announcement from Nintendo at the Game Awards 2023. This happens every year where a few weeks before Game Awards, people are like, will Nintendo have something? And a lot of people, I always see these comments like, oh, Nintendo rarely has something at the Game Awards. But I actually went through and checked just like how often they actually do have something to show at the Game Awards. Not necessarily a new announcement, but like a new trailer for like Breath of the Wild, for example, or like a Smash DLC character. And typically speaking, they usually have something. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to expect them to have a new game announcement or even just a new trailer at the Game Awards. Now, what would that actually be? There are a couple of options here, and interestingly, I think all of them would actually be more exciting than anything we currently know about. Or at the very least, I should say, like, I don't really think showing Princess Peach Showtime here makes sense, right? If we see an already announced game, it would be Prime 4, which we'll talk about. But, like, I don't think they'll show Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon here, or, Mario versus Donkey Kong or another code. If they have something to show at the Game Awards, a new trailer for something, it would, if it's a game that's already announced, be Prime 4 or something else entirely different. So, from that aspect, it's very exciting to see and talk about what they could have. But before we talk about what it actually could be, I do want to run down here for the naysayers saying that Nintendo doesn't announce stuff at the Game Awards very often. And I guess to be fair, that sentence isn't super inaccurate because they usually have either, like I said, DLC or trailers for already announced games. But just to run it down real quick, 2014, they showed Breath of the Wild, or Zelda Wii U at the time. 2015 had nothing, but 2016 and 2017 also had Breath of the Wild. Of course, in 2017, that was the Champions Battle DLC. But 2017, I would say, is probably their most substantial year at the Game Awards because that was also when they announced the Bayonetta ports would be coming to the Switch in February of 2018, but also Bayonetta 3. So 2017, a pretty massive year. And that's kind of the start of something that, and we'll be talking about this as well, there's a trend, it seems, where Nintendo announces games that they publish but don't necessarily develop at the Game Awards. So starting with Bayonetta ports and then Bayonetta 3, into 2018, we had Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, another game that Nintendo didn't make, Team Ninja did, but they published it. So Nintendo, of course, was in charge of that announcement, and they had that trailer at the Game Awards 2018. And of course, in 2018, we also had the Joker reveal for Smash Bros. But then in 2019, we also had another game they published, Bravely Default 2 was announced, alongside a trailer for No More Heroes 3, although Nintendo didn't actually publish that, but I feel like they were involved in some capacity. Either way, a Switch exclusive at the time, right? But Bravely Default 2 was there, they published that, once again, not developed. Then in 2020, all we had was Sephiroth, which was a fantastic trailer, but Smash DLC, of course, not as significant, I guess, as a new game announcement. Then in 2021, we had nothing. And then once again in 2022, a game they didn't develop, but a game they published, being Bayonetta Origins. So I guess the last time they actually had a new game announcement, well, actually, that truly has never happened. A game that Nintendo actually developed has never been announced at the Game Awards. But games they've already announced, like Zelda, that gets shown all the time. Games that they publish, like Bayonetta and Bravely Default, that gets shown very often. So I don't think it's too unreasonable to expect something new here from Nintendo. Because out of the past decade, they've really only skipped 2 years. So I think we'll certainly be seeing something. But without Smash Bros, of course, I mean, Smash Bros DLC ended in 2021. But without Smash Bros, it's always interesting to see. Bayonetta Origins last year was a huge curveball. I don't think anybody expected that. So what could we see? So we'll start with what I already mentioned, Metroid Prime 4. Could we be seeing Metroid Prime 4 here? It kind of fits the criteria. It's not a new announcement, but it is like a revitalized announcement kind of thing, right? It'd be the first time we're seeing it. I think this is possible. It really depends on when this game is coming out. I don't think they're saving the trailer for Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch 2 reveal. I think it's a Switch 1 game. It'll be released on Switch 1 and it'll be promoted for Switch 1. So I think that like it's possible, right? It really just depends on how close this game actually is. I've been predicting this game to release since 2018, and then it's just been wrong every single time. This game could come out in 2026, I believe you. It could come out in May of 2023, I believe you. I really have no idea where this game actually is in its development cycle anymore because it's just been so dang long. But Prime 4, I think, would be the most exciting thing, honestly, just because it's the last Switch game that we know about, even beyond like Detective Pikachu, which finally came out. It's the last Switch game we know about but haven't seen anything from. So seeing Prime 4 here would be super, super exciting, obviously. And I think it would fit that demographic that the Game Awards kind of hits. Metroid is a very hardcore Nintendo game. And the Game Awards, the people watching it are very hardcore gamers. Most casual people aren't watching the Game Awards unless you get like some Among Us skin, right, or whatever. So having Prime 4 here makes a lot of sense just to get that broader gaming audience. The people that play Call of Duty, the people that play a game like Cyberpunk, that kind of thing, get their eyes on this first-person shooter that they make, and I think that would make a lot of sense. So Prime 4, it really just depends on when this game is coming out. If it's coming out in 2024, I think it has a pretty good shot of being here. But what if it's not Prime 4? What if it's something completely different entirely? Well, there's been a lot of discussion about Zelda recently, and, you know, if Tears of the Kingdom was getting DLC, I think that would certainly be the prediction, but Aonuma's already said the game will not be getting any further downloadable content, or at least not any, like, paid or, like, story content, right? So that's out of the window. But what about something else? A lot of people think that Ocarina of Time will be getting a remake, myself included. I've been talking about Ocarina of Time remake since I think 2021 on this channel, so I definitely think that will be happening. I just don't know if this is the right venue for it. As I said, you know, they haven't announced a Nintendo-developed game at the Game Awards before, only stuff they published. So I feel like a Zelda announcement like that, of that caliber, that would be safe for like the end of a direct. Like Ocarina of Time remake, that is like your final get hype moment for a proper Nintendo Direct. I guess you could make the argument that Ocarina of Time is so universal with gaming that maybe showing it at the Game Awards makes a little bit more sense. But also, I don't think Ocarina of Time remake is coming to the Switch 1. I think that would be a Switch 2 game regardless. So I think it's just too soon when it comes to Ocarina of Time remake. Plus, we just got Tears of the Kingdom this year. So for Zelda, I would say probably not. Maybe Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, right? Because those are old games anyway, so it's not as high profile. Maybe we could get those at the Game Awards Shadow Dropped or something. Maybe, you know, it's out in the eShop right now, and you get a physical release later. I talked about that in my my video a couple weeks ago. Maybe, I would say if we get anything Zelda, it would be Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. And also, like, a quick mention from Bill Trinen or Doug Bowser, whoever's up on stage accepting the award for Mario Wonder Game of the Year, of course. Maybe he'll be like, oh yeah, we announced a movie, by the way, get excited for that. So if we get anything Zelda, I would say Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are really the only logical options. But then potentially the most exciting thing, a curveball. Because as we've seen, Nintendo announces games that they publish here, like Bayonetta 3, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Bravely Default 2, and Bayonetta Origins. So what if we get a brand new game that they're publishing, and that could be really anything? I mean, my heart immediately goes to Astral Chain 2. There is a history of Platinum Games announcements at the Game Awards. I've been talking about Astral Chain 2 for a while now. I think Astral Chain is better than Bayonetta. I freaking love Astral Chain, and I would love to see a sequel. The game did very well. This is one of those things, though, like, okay, is Astral Chain 2 really going to be on the original Switch, or would that be something they save for the next console? I feel like saving that for the next console does make more sense. So probably not Astral Chain 2, but what about something else? I mean, they published Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I don't know how well it did. I don't think it did poorly by any means, but I don't think it like really lit the world on fire. So probably not like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 4, but maybe something else entirely. I mean, the sky's the limit there. Bravely Default 2 was published by them. Maybe a new HD 2D game from Square Enix that Nintendo is publishing. They haven't published one of their games since Live Alive, which doesn't really seem like that long ago, but considering how many Square Enix games they have been publishing, it actually has been a while. So maybe we could see something from that aspect, maybe another remake of an old game or that kind of thing that Nintendo decides to publish in America from Square Enix. But beyond that, it's just really hard to predict. I don't think like a Warriors game would really be announced here, like a new, like I've been predicting Xenoblade Warriors or even a new Zelda Warriors kind of thing. I don't really think that would be announced here. Once again, that feels like a Nintendo Direct announcement. And since Smash Bros. And Mario Kart are done DLC, that's not going to be here, obviously. I guess they could show a new trailer and maybe a release date for Splatoon 3 side order. But in terms of new announcements, yeah, I mean, I think the most likely bet for a brand new game announcement would be something from Platinum, although I'm not really sure the current standing of Platinum. I mean, Kamiya left, Hashimoto's gone, so I'm not sure how far into development you know, a game like Astral Chain 2 could potentially be. I'm not that familiar with how big Platinum is. I don't think they could really handle that at the same time as Bayonetta 3 realistically, so we'll have to wait and see. I would say out of all of these, you know, Prime 4 feels like the safest prediction to me of what could be at the Game Awards, but also Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, those are pretty low stakes. There have been rumors of those coming to Switch for the past several years, so maybe it's finally time for that. I would personally, out of everything though, I think I would like to see a true curveball, something that we just are not expecting to happen. Prime 4 we know is coming. Wind Waker and Twilight Princess we can kind of assume will come eventually, but a curveball, something that is truly unknown, I think that would be the most exciting thing to see from Nintendo at the Game Awards this year. So let me know what you think. What do you think could be announced from Nintendo at the Game Awards? Do you think it'll be a brand new announcement? Do you think it'll be a new trailer for a previously announced game? I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Of course, subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch news, reviews, discussions, all of that fun stuff, and follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames. Until next time, folks, peace!